Hi, guys. I've been thinking about something and thought I'd pass it by you guys. As someone who's been fascinated with humanity's compulsion towards certain trends, I've noticed a particular one that I kind of thought would be just temporary, but seems to be hanging on and even becoming more prevalent since the beginning of this year. It's something that I battled with myself many years ago, so I tend to recognize it when it comes along. I first spotted this rising inclination in people around the year 2020, which was sort of understandable with all the stuff that was happening globally at that time. Yet, instead of moving through the chaos and into trusting ourselves and the world again, this impulse has become even more noticeable since that time. I'm talking about the tendency toward fear of Armageddon, fear of financial ruin, fear of an alien invasion, of nuclear war, of, of starving, and most of all, of dying. I completely understand how this all came about with all of the stuff coming to us from horrific Hollywood movies and TV and most of all from mainstream news. It's as if terror and fear have become kind of in vogue these days. And when I delve deeper into this trend, I found that it all seems to be coming from a total inability or maybe unwillingness to live in the present. Instead of always looking toward the scary unknown future. And this leads to searching for anyone who might have some insight to what's going on, what's going to happen and when. It's like we're a bunch of scared rabbits looking for a rescuer to appear and lead us out of the woods and back into the garden. It's obvious when you look for it. For example, on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, or Facebook, the most clicks go to those with thumbnails that warn of future world events. I watched this trend grow all the way through 2024, post after post, with dire warnings of either what was happening or what was predicted to happen, month after month. Yet, what really happened? Does anything that has been predicted really come about, positive or negative? Well, obviously, sometimes, but not very often. And yet, we've spent our time and energy watching that video and waiting. And this sets us up for disappointment, anger, futility, depression. So we spend all of our energy trying to find answers where there really aren't any. What I'd like to point out here is that everything is happening. Fantastic things are happening all the time. But most of us are not in the present long enough to spot them. Whatever happened to the wisdom of the now? Before the world volunteered to shut itself down to appease those deceitful authority figures who profess to know more than we do, the wisdom of living in the now was actually gaining strength, helping us to find peace that comes with the discovery of the inner being, the self, brought about through stilling the mind and shutting out the chaos to find the silence within. Unfortunately, the now trend was overtaken by the shift toward fear of future calamities, with robots taking over the world. And yet, there's a simple fix to this unsettling trend that I just thought I'd like to introduce here. Many of us have spent our whole lives seeking happiness, purpose. We want to know who we are. We want to know who God is. We want to know why we're here and what we should be doing. Do we have a purpose? Is there something I should be doing? We want to wake up so that we can be all that we can be. So, so we look for a teacher, a guru, or maybe a psychic or a medium or channel, someone to tell us where we came from, or to read our Akashic record. Am I a starseed? And if so, what is my ET race? Who are my galactic family? And how can I find them? And of course, this is all perfectly natural. We all want answers to our questions. Why? Well, because we feel it'll bring us peace. Then we don't have to seek anymore. We can just stop and just live our lives. But the question I would ask is, how does all this seeking make us feel? After years and years of my own search, I can answer that. Seeking for answers outside of ourselves only tells us that something is missing. It tells us that we're not whole and we must become something else. We have to find enlightenment. And as this continues, it brings suffering. We're never satisfied. If we're constantly looking to discover our purpose or our true path, we never actually live it. So, what is it that's missing? What if nothing is missing? And it's the search itself that has been hiding our true self from our awareness. I remember the first time I read the Eckhart Tolle book, where he explains how this wisdom came to him. Well, at one point, many years ago, Eckhart's life had become absolutely miserable. And one night he was in so much pain that he considered ending his life. His thoughts had brought him to a place where he decided that he just couldn't live with himself anymore. Yet, as he stopped to contemplate this thought, he began to ask himself, who is this I? And who is the self that I can't live with anymore? And as most of us know, this simple contemplation completely changed his entire life. Who is this I? And who is the one asking the question? So, who are we if we are not our thoughts, not our body, our emotions, our feelings? We are the awareness, the consciousness behind it all, the constant that never changes. And nothing that has ever happened in our lives has ever affected that awareness. These thoughts, emotions, and memories have been fluctuating up and down throughout our lives. Yet one thing that has never changed is our conscious awareness. We don't have to try to be aware. We just are. We are consciousness. To be who we truly are doesn't take practicing certain spiritual techniques, meditation, breathing, or doing anything. We already are it. So right now, this very moment, you might ask yourself, who are you? Are you your body? Well, the real you can't be your body because it's constantly changing. Are you your feelings, your emotions, your memories, your fears? All of these come and go. So how do we know these are not us? Just watch. Become the observer and do nothing. Just watch. Be aware as these thoughts and emotions show up and then leave. Each sensation, each thought doesn't stay. It just wanders through your mind. And if you don't grab it, it will simply move on to something else. But your awareness has remained untouched by it all. The only thing that remains constant is consciousness. What does this mean for us? I mean, this means we can let go of all the guilt and fear that we are making mistakes or doing it wrong. And pain and grief may still come, but the resistance that causes suffering no longer has a hold on us. If we can truly understand that we never really had any control, living becomes effortless. We can breathe. Life becomes much more interesting as we can watch the movie go by. The answer's right in front of us. The moment, this moment now, is all there is and all there will ever be. Therefore, there's nothing to solve, nothing to find, nothing to fix, only a belief that has kept us from being fully realized and is at the cause of all our suffering. All those nights we begged the universe to give us a sign that would reveal to us who we are. Show me the way. And yet, the way is already revealed within each step we take, each breath, each tick of the clock. And we can't get off the path because whatever path we're on is the only one that exists. And if we need, for whatever reason, to deviate from wherever that path is taking us, we will spontaneously flow there, and our present moment will become that. As this now accommodates everything we are and everything we do and say, each emotion that shows up, each thought that presents itself to us is just there. We don't have to go looking for it. We don't have to think. The moment, the now, is thinking for us. I mean, consider this. If we were in control of our lives, we would never choose unhappiness or depression, doubt or fear or anger. When these arise, they arise into our now. Although it feels to us like we're thinking our thoughts, we are not. They are simply a part of the flow. We didn't do anything to bring this thought. It just appeared into our mind as a part of the flow of now. Life does not need to be fixed. It only needs to be allowed. So this gives us permission to relax into life and let it happen. There's no need to struggle through life. There's no need to fight against it or resist what's happening. Why? Because it doesn't do any good. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't change the moment. Life is just happening as it is meant to be. Where does suffering come from? To put it simply, it comes when we believe our thoughts are our own. When we believe that we have done these things ourselves. If we believe that we have brought about the emotion that we feel, then we judge ourselves for it. For example, if guilt shows up, then it must mean that we've done something wrong. And this can bring with it a whole flood of further despair. Most of us have spent a good portion of our lives seeking what we feel we don't possess. That's something that we lack, that needs to be fulfilled, something we still have to discover. Yet, what if there's nothing to discover? Listen, what if the search itself was the only thing keeping us from perceiving something that's always been there, veiled only by our seeking, hidden by our belief that we need to become more than we are? When we can come to this realization, now, in this moment, the struggle disappears. Not because anything has changed. All the conditions are still the same. The only thing that has transformed is our understanding that all these circumstances that appear and disappear are simply the flow of life. Once we grasp the simplicity of this, everything becomes lighter. And we're free from the restrictions of need. There's nothing left to seek, to understand. It just is. Now it's easier to function and to make decisions. We're no longer separate. Nothing needs to be controlled or fixed because nothing was ever broken. Life simply flows by without presumption or opinion, never asking for a conclusion. And this is how it was always meant to be. So, if nothing has ever been missing and awareness is all that there has ever been, then what's left for us to do? To be, to exist within this present moment, all that is. There's nothing required for us to do. The universe does not need a manager to run it. It can take care of itself. When we finally solve this enigma, all suffering disappears. Not because we've reached enlightenment, but because we finally gained the truth that has always been there waiting for us to recognize it and to arrive at the bliss of simply being what we were meant to be. From now on, it's an effortless journey, floating downstream and watching the movie of life go by, directed only by our awareness. Once we identify that our fear isn't even our own. We can now and forever see it as it really is, a temporary cloud on our otherwise clear horizon. Of course, if we give our attention to the cloud, it can grow until it gains the power to block out the sun. Yet, once we're able to truly understand what it is and brush it aside, it can simply evaporate as if it were never there. Oh, enough, enough. See you soon, guys. Bye.